This model has become an icon not just for my channel, but also an icon for environmental systems and societies. Welcome again. If you've been watching all of my videos over the last 2 years, you might have seen this model a few times. And it is a very good way not just to study about what a model is, because a model is defined as a simplified description to show the structure or workings of a system, an object, or a concept. And this particular model right here is here to show us that photosynthetic organisms can survive in a closed system like this one, where they can carry out photosynthesis, consume the inputs of photosynthesis, which carbon dioxide and light and some water which was put into the system. It can consume all of those things, and then it can release oxygen. And the living things in here would consume that oxygen, and because of the cycling of carbon and oxygen, the system would be self-sustaining once it gets one thing from the outside, which is light. But there are other things that are required for this system to sustain itself. One key component that it needs is decomposers. If you don't have decomposers, then when the tiny plants in here grow and they die, all of the organic material that they contain would be lost from the system. But if you have decomposers, that organic material would be slowly recycled within the system, always providing some nutrients for the plants that live in here. And in that sense, that is why I chose this model as the...
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? Due to external pollution factors, we need to suspend all outdoor activity and PE functions until further notice. Please suspend all outdoor activities and PE functions until further notice. Thank you.
Right. And unfortunately, where this model was created is where most things in the world are created, made in China. And when things are made in China, as you might have just heard on that announcement, lots of times there is pollution generated from all the industry that exists in this country. This is the most populated nation in the world. And it has, over the last 20 years, had an unprecedented growth rate, with economic growth happening at a staggering rate every year, as the quality of life improves for so many people and society improves its lot. But as society improves and people get a better quality of life, one of the side effects, you've just heard of it on the loudspeaker, pollution. And pollution does not only affect the people who have the jobs because of the industry, but all of society. And indeed, it could also affect the entire planet through issues like climate change and global warming. So all of these are the issues that the ESS students faces. It's not just about studying the one little section in isolation, but about making all kinds of connections. And just by chance, as I was explaining about this model, we had this random announcement that showed us how this model could then be connected to everything else around it. The fact that it's living here in China, it was created here in China, a place where we've had so much population growth, where we've had so much industrialization. And sadly, one of the bits of fallout from all of that industrialization is pollution. And pollution affects human society, it affects the productivity of ecosystems, it affects the oceans, and it affects environmental systems in general in so many ways. And this is the nature of ESS. ESS is not to say that we're studying systems and models today. Tomorrow we're studying photosynthesis. The next day we're studying population growth. Then we study pollution. Then we study water pollution. Then we study air pollution. But it's to think about how everything can be connected. How environmental systems can be connected to society. How society can be connected to environmental systems. How living things are affected by non-living things. How living things affect non-living things. How one living component can affect another living component. how people can cause things like deforestation. It's all of these connections that you must make as the ESS student. The students in my class are going to present their own thoughts about this model. So we'll hear from all of the 5 people in the class of 2016. Meanwhile, if your exam is coming up really soon and you want a whole lot of videos, where to go to review and all the tips and all the hints, you can just click right here to a playlist of all the videos that you want to watch.